Hey, what's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining us again. We are live. Welcome back to the Rethink Tank Live, where tonight's lineup feels less like a news cycle and more like a warning label. We're starting with the absolute chaos surrounding the hantavirus cruise story. Passengers and the internet alike spiral over reports of illness, contamination fears, and other reminders of just how quickly confined luxury can turn into floating panic. And then we're following that with a story that somehow makes the cruise industry look even worse. Multiple Disney Cruise Line staff members finding themselves arrested over alleged involvement with explicit material, putting it lightly, raising serious questions about oversight inside one of the most carefully protected brands on earth. And then we're just going to let it roll from there. So from outbreaks to scandals to the uncomfortable reality that the places marketed as the safest and happiest escapes can sometimes hide the darkest headlines. This is the Rethink Tank Live. Let's dive right in. So as we were sitting here last Tuesday, it was in preparation of that episode that we started hearing murmurs of this. What is it? COVID-2? What's coming our way? Do we have another floating pandemic on our way? And everybody's talking about the hantavirus. And, I think maybe, you've heard the colloquial phrase, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Why? Because once you live it, it's pretty hard to get fooled again. And I think that's why people are a lot more skeptical this go around. And the approach seems to be different by the public. That being said, as it just kind of surfaces, you're seeing characters surface. So this hantavirus cruise has this social media influencer guy who's a little light in the loafers, very light in the loafers. Okay. And he's screaming for help. And this was kind of my first exposure to the hantavirus and made it very easy to scroll right past. You gotta put like The Rock crying in front of me, and then I'll be like, maybe we should check this thing out. But when Doug's like, I'm really worried about the sun, I'm gonna be like, yeah, don't go outside. Touch grass.
True? Are you scared of the sun?
I do have a fair complexion.
I nailed it.
Same.
Accurate. And you're not scared of the sun. Crazy. Professor Glass over there would be, if Professor Glass got on a video and was like, I'm really worried and I'm scared on this cruise, I'll be like, as All America did, sink the ship.
I'm interested to worry because you'll never see me on a cruise.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see Mr. Light in the Loafers.
Light in the Loafers, take it away.
I really wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondias. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home.
This was the wrong guy to try to humanize the issue.
He's right. He does have family. And so do I. Stay on the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Ricky, do you believe him? Should we be worried?
No, I'll be like, this guy's on just getting off some drugs or something. Or he's on some drugs.
I don't know.
He's coming down, he can't get his fix anymore.
It's like the reality TV like crocodile tear, when like they try to do they have a tear in their eye or something like that, and just seeing the face, it's like you're not actually.
Yeah, something don't. Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and
no, there
the
isn't.
Hardest part.
This isn't like a novel virus like the pandemic was.
In the background, you hear the missile from the submarine.
You just hear the beeping from it on its way.
What is that?
Sonar. I think that's the virus.
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this
there are real people behind these weaponized manufactured germs. I would agree.
Isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us.
It's coming to you. Coming to a Nebraska near you.
Right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding.
Be kind, Will.
Sorry, my bad, dude.
Be kind. Now,
My bad. Started from the top, dude.
would it surprise you if I told you this guy was also a shill during the COVID pandemic?
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again if you're eligible.
Are you a gorgeous girl?
I'm giving this guy 2 thumbs down.
Are you a gorgeous girl?
No.
No, no.
Not me.
I gotta say that says enough for me. That right there says enough for me.
I imagine you were scrolling on TikTok and saw his one video, and then immediately you scrolled, and it was the COVID one, and you're like,
what? Did he grow? Did he change at all? It's the same guy. It's just like, we are real people, gorgeous girls, gorgeous girls, hide from the COVID virus.
Get Nebraska near you.
Dude, that is the funniest thing, that this is all being like, where'd they ship them to? The middle. Where'd we put the middle? The middle of the thing. Oh, Nebraska? Yeah, okay. Let me unfold the story a little bit more so you can get an idea of the landscape.
Yeah, because as far as I know, they're still on the boat.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So in that chronological order, now I'm starting to see the captain. This is an emotional drama. An emotional drama. Here's the captain trying to enhance the fear.
Good morning, everybody. This is my sad duty to inform you that one of our passengers sadly passed away last night.
Ooh.
Tragic as it is.
Shipped it first class to Nebraska. No, who said that?
It was due to natural causes, we believe.
I didn't see anyone showing any symptoms, but one person unfortunately passed away on 12th of April, and the wife of that person also passed away.
Why are we taking them off?
Right after we disembarked in St. Helena. We had actually a lot of relationships with other passengers, so I have contact, and now they are being very good isolation.
What they didn't show in the video is they cut it off as they had a plank at the end.
Off. You're going where Osama swims. Well, I want to kick it now to real Melanie King. 23 people released into the wild.
Lying about this virus.
What?
I just came across something that is insane. You know how everyone doesn't want them to get off the ship, keep them on the ship, don't let them disembark? Well, guess what? You know, the Swiss couple, you know, the husband, they flew back to Switzerland, they disembarked early,
They're
and
like chocolate
now
and
he went
cheese.
to the hospital, he has it, they're both in quarantine, they're monitoring her for symptoms. I was thinking, why would they let them off? It's very weird.
Peculiar.
So as I started researching, guess what, guys? 23 people, not just those two, 23 people got off that cruise at the same time. Many went on to travel to different, continue a trip somewhere else. Many went home, like went to Taiwan.
Hey, we saw from that White House Correspondents' Dinner, Alligator Tears for America. Of course, anywhere anybody wants to. I want to go home. Now, she didn't go home, but these folks did. I want to go home. Continues her tour across America. But these folks, I get it. I get it. Why wouldn't you want to go home? Relatable.
Went to the UK, went to Australia, went to the Netherlands, and guess what else? Went home to America. 23 people already got off of that ship between April 21st and April 24th, and we haven't heard a single word about it.
Okay, that being said, let me take you now. We're going to skip a little bit ahead to Nebraska. So
cool, we're there.
So
we made it home.
I wasn't just saying it for the funs and the gigglies. Actually, let's do one more clip. We're going to go down the rabbit hole that will lead us to Nebraska.
Rabbit hole.
I don't want to skip it.
Deeper. So, if you've been following this,
you will see that there's not a lot of people posting anything about it that are actually on the cruise ship. In fact, there's 2 people, right? That Jake guy, and then there's another guy.
We know
Both
Jake.
of them are travel vloggers,
Like the
right?
loafers.
And Jake, we found out, actually
Light in the khakis. Works at State Farm.
works for the company, which was not disclosed. Then there's this anonymous Spanish guy who spoke to El País magazine. That's where we got the 23 number and all that, right?
Yo hablo se Juan.
So I'm on his page and I had saw a proposal thing where for 2 years he spent everywhere he traveled, he filmed himself asking, will you marry me? And I was like, wait, where is this Jake guy's husband, partner, fiance, whoever?
I didn't peg
There
that
is
on purpose.
no one from anyone's friends, families, co-workers, coaches, neighbors, their jobs, no one, people who have gone back home, no one else, nor their families, friends, or anyone else they know have posted a single thing. And so I go and look and I see they even have the he has a video and pictures of his proposal and what he did with his husband or whoever. And all these people
Bless
are
you.
saying congratulations below. It's like hundreds of people, right? And it goes back, it's not like new people. It's like going back old to when he did it last year. All these people, right? I go and try to check out the husband's page. It's private. I don't see anything else posted.
All right, I'm unearned. This is a whole lot of nothing. Now let's get to Nebraska. Melanie, you could have made something out of that, but it is interesting. It does make it feel like this Jake guy is a chosen actor in this play because nobody else from that ship exists and nobody else in Jake's orbit exists. Just Jake saying, you want to be a bad girl, a golden girl? Get yourself your vaccine. And turns out he is not
He is
heavy
the
in the
golden girl.
not
guarantee that no American will catch this virus from the passengers who returned to the United States.
Wow, that's a heavy, loaded question.
All right. Yeah. Well, answer it, bitch. I'm paying taxes for the answer. So, yeah, I want to make the question as heavy as possible.
Better.
Answer it. But here's the other thing. So, somewhere in this slew of clips, we're going to get to it. I can't remember where it shows up. But a pertinent fact about Nebraska is that is like the quarantine safe haven. I think we might have glossed over it. Melanie the King brought it up earlier that there is no legal requirement for any of these. So 23 people with testing positive released back across the world from Australia to America and everywhere in between. And they are not legally required to quarantine. And if they choose to, they can make their way to Nebraska. Say what? That's the advice to the Americans that have the hantavirus released back to America. You can either self-quarantine, but you don't have to, or you can make your way to Nebraska. And how am I going to get there?
Wait.
I'm getting on one of your planes. Spirit, I'm on my way.
Well, R.I.P. Spirit. But why Nebraska, though? Is there something there? Did I miss it when you said that?
No, I'm clearly you got UNMC in the background. They have to be some,
Is there like a
leading
facility
expert
there?
in virology.
They have the the military uses isolation labs. They have like the isolation rooms there for like diseases and all that.
All right. Okay, I get it now.
Can you guarantee that no American will catch this virus from the passengers who returned to the United States?
I just want to emphasize that our top priority across all levels of government here and partners is
Yes or no,
the
dude?
health and safety of the passengers.
Dude,
This is like wiki.
wait, it's the government answering. You're never getting yes or no.
We got to get the government to play WikiLeaks because
Especially when it's no. If the answer is yes, they're like, oh yeah, yes. If the answer is no, they're like, well, I mean, we're giving it our best.
Is the health and safety of the passengers. All levels of government here and partners is the health and safety of the passengers and their communities. And that's what we're working constantly to address through all the measures that we're putting in place.
So you can guarantee no American will catch this virus from these.
Look at those eyes. So you're saying no American? That is not at all what I said.
Returning passengers.
There are no guarantees in life. We're putting as many measures in place as possible to ensure
that's all
that
we
people are
wanted to
safe and
hear.
healthy, and we keep the community safe and healthy as well.
Yourself a lot of work.
Just say no. There's no guarantees in life. That
Some guy off camera is doing the Jonah Hill.
Well, let me make my position clear. It stands totally in line with Teresa.
This message is for Jake and all of the other passengers on that cruise ship with hantavirus. In this society, threats work better than requests, and I just want to let you know personally that if you get off that boat and you bring that virus back to America, knowing that you have been exposed and you don't quarantine for the 8 weeks wherever you are, I will sue you. Personally. I've already spoken to my lawyer about this matter. I will sue you, and I will open it up as a class action lawsuit. We will all sue you. Every single one of us will go after every.
The tribe of 350 million Americans versus Jake from the ship.
Thing you have. All those old people on that boat.
Yeah. No hablo. No hablo.
He looks like me saying that. No hablo. No hablo.
We're taking your house, we're taking your pension, we're taking all of it. Because if you are selfish enough, I know that you've been through something traumatic. I understand. I've been there. I got COVID and I almost died from it. I'm immunocompromised. But if you are selfish enough to only think about you in this circumstance and say, I just want to go home, which is what I'm hearing from you, and you get on that little plane and you spread it to all 180 plus other people on that plane, and then they can contact trace that to you through Boston Airport or all of the other connecting airports that you go through. I will sue you. I will take your dog.
How would you?
That's my dog now.
I will take your dog. Have you watched John Wick? That's like the one thing you don't take.
Hey, you never heard the dog.
You could tell she watches a lot of Suits.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That Markle girl, I'm just like her. Me and her.
I called Daddy Harvey. He's gonna fix this for us.
So when another spooky virus comes around the corner, the last thing you do is go to the talking box cable shills. However, if you were to hear from or reference any of them, there's only one worth your ear, and it's the only one that held the ground during the pandemic. So kind of reliving the events of the last week in this hantavirus through Jon Stewart brings some levity and clarity to the situation.
The timeline clear to everybody. Sunday, we found out hantavirus had been on a cruise ship. Monday through Thursday, expert upon expert, scientist upon scientist, very transparently explained why this illness, while a serious illness, is a low-level public health threat. Their words went a long way to easing the concerns of a curious public.
Trust the experts, they say.
Lord knows.
Douglas Murray
can't let that happen. So on Friday, after 3 days of reinsurance, I give you Nightline.
A dream vacation turning into a floating nightmare. Authorities now working to stop the spread and track down passengers who've already left the ship, including to the U.S. The looming question, could this become the next pandemic?
God damn it! They got me again! I can't breathe in there. I was panicking. They got me again. And by the way, did you check out the percussion on that? Could this be the next pandemic? The question of whether it was going to be the next pandemic had been asked and answered for 3 days. But apparently that was before the authorities decided not to fire a torpedo and sink the cruise ship, burying its diseased passengers and cruise entertainers in a watery grave befitting their disease. That's right, folks. These people from this ship were going to be allowed to disembark.
The deadly hantavirus is no longer contained to that cruise ship. It is now literally flying around the world.
Oh, cool.
Why they let them off the boat, releasing them off the boat, just creates new problems.
Why did they get off the boat and then come back to America?
How long do you think people on the ship should be isolated before being allowed to leave? And then, like,
But the beauty of this clip is when the media becomes self-aware. It's like Jon Stewart is the same talking head that's like, but the talking heads are a bunch of idiots. It's like, yeah, you're just a funny one.
Yeah.
walk among us.
Still chosen by God. Oh.
Look, I don't think any of us are crazy about the idea of people who take cruises walking amongst us. I just don't think it's...
I think that was at the heart of this to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, this was like the Disney conversation we'll get to eventually.
Yes, yes. So, one little added nuance I'd like to bring to the cruise ship consideration, and then we could kind of close it all out. Or I guess less cruise ship, more hantavirus. This is the more hantavirus focused side of it. So here is the Dre dossier, bringing just a little bit more added perspective to the consideration.
Fun fact Friday for you guys. Did you know that the U.S. left the WHO, the World Health Organization, back in January of 2026?
Say that again?
You know, the thing that exists so that whenever a outbreak happens somewhere in the world, the rest of the world finds out about it. Yeah, we left that organization. But don't worry, our ideological bestie, Argentina, did the same thing on March 17th, except isn't it interesting how
Boss Baby's brother, remember? Ironic.
3 days later, then a cruise ship left Port Argentina carrying a passenger with the only known strain of hantavirus ever documented to spread person to person. Except that person on April 11th, and nobody was told until May 2nd because, oh, that's right, neither country involved were legally required to, because both of them had left the thing that would have required them to have to tell someone. We only found out because the UK were the ones who filed the paperwork to the WHO because the body had gotten dropped off at one of the British islands, and the British are apparently the last ones still showing up to things. So, and the Americans from that ship are now being held at the National Quarantine Unit, and the scientists there still aren't required to share what they find internationally because, say it with me, folks, we left that framework too. And what, now Pete Hegseth wants to talk about rescinding COVID-19 parameters while the White House is focused on UFO files? What, did you run out of frickin' redacted Epstein files or something?
I got to tell you, the UFO Pandora's box for next week is crazy. I would have loved to have made it a part of today's episode because, again, relevant timeliness, but there's just so much for today's episode alone to include it all. So vaccines in our food, other poisons in our food, and UFOs all coming at you next week. So look forward to that. But interesting considerations as far as the timing of things, almost like it's calculated or just convenient. Perfectly said. One other thing that I'd like to flash back and remind you, actor Gene Hackman's wife, if you recall when they passed away, Betsy Arakawa. I don't know his wife's last name. Yeah. Died 7 days before he did from hantavirus.
I forgot about that too. Until you just said that, I was like, oh my gosh, she did die from some rat related, I remember. Oh my God.
So the nuance to that, so that was in 2025.
So it's been here.
Well, here's the interesting nuance to this hantavirus situation. The 2025 hantavirus death of Betsy Arakawa was reported by news outlets, but didn't spark widespread concern as it was an isolated rodent to human case. The 2026 cruise outbreak involves the Andes strain, which can spread person to person, almost like it was mutated as such. Nature's a silly goose sometimes.
Finds a way.
But it didn't find a way in Gene Hackman's wife's body. But it found it here.
Nature finds a way.
So, Ricky, I wanted to reinsert a topic that we covered on your show into this show, get a little perspective from Doug and Will, and then I think we could close it out with a answer. So, I don't know if you guys saw, this is a separate topic from the hantavirus cruise, but we'll bring it back to it, I promise. It's a thought experiment, a philosophy experiment. You guys should check out Ricky's program. So go to his channel, Just Another Day TV. We have the Stoner and the Scholar show. And on that show, Ricky ends every episode with a dilemma of the week. This week, I brought Ricky a dilemma. There is a question that I'm sure many of you have come across, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, Mr. Beast posed a philosophy question to the world, or as Ricky would say, a dilemma. And everybody has come out on polarizing ends. I'm going to want to see Will and Doug's answer on this. So first, we're going to have Mike from Logan Paul's podcast read it out to us, and then I'm going to show you a simulated version that thoroughly explains it.
Mr. Beast tweeted, "Everyone on Earth takes a private vote by pressing a red or blue button. If more than 50% of people press the blue button, everyone survives. If less than 50% of people press the blue button, only people who press the red button survive. Which button would you press?"
So let me explain it to you more clearly so you can visualize it.
That you're placed in a room with the option to either press a red button or a blue button. And everybody on Earth is placed in a similar room and given the same choice. If a majority of people press the red button, then everybody who pressed the blue button will die. But if a majority of people choose the blue button, then everyone survives. Which button would you press?
Don't say anything, Ricky. This isn't yours to answer right now.
Hey, I'm just saying.
We already milked that cow to its fullest extent. You got an empty teat. It's coming to you,
Still
Will.
got milk in the titties.
Doug, what are you pushing?
Kind of reminds me of Black Mirror too. You know, giving everybody the option of pushing stuff. And
why not a white mirror? What are you doing here?
And Orville did an episode like that too. The Seth MacFarlane Star Trek knockoff. They did one like that too. You
Doug, answer the damn question.
But I mean, I would obviously choose blue because I don't want to. Well, it's a tough one because if you choose blue, majority chooses red, then you're
dead.
effed. But I would hope most people would be like, I don't want to die, and so everybody choose blue. But then if you don't want to die, everybody chooses red. Then so that's a toughie.
Right, self-preservation. You live no matter what if you pick red.
Yeah,
but if you pick blue,
I'd probably choose blue and hope other people choose blue.
Interesting. Where do you come out?
Oh, I would choose red.
Why is that?
So, like you said, self-preservation.
No matter what you live.
Yes.
So Ricky and I came out on split ends. Ricky says push red, and by the end,
that's why Will's my motherfucking dog.
Initially, he kind of talked me into it. I'm like, well, yeah, why wouldn't you just pick the known no matter what, if I press red, I survive. But that means if a majority, 51% of us choose red, anybody that picked blue is dead. And there is a consideration of this that there's people that are retarded. There's people that are children. There's people that can't read. There's people that have a heart that are hippies to a fault. So whether it's accidentally or intentionally, people are pushing blue, which means no matter what, people die unless you commit yourself to trying to save people. So that I ended it yelling at Ricky. I go, Ricky, you chose my death.
The strong protecting the weak is a sign of a good society.
Right. And a strong compass.
Right.
But and the strong
we live in. And that's why red.
And the strong will choose red, being logical and not emotional. They would say, we all gonna survive if we all press red. And if the idiots somehow, and the emotional creatures of our society, all just run to blue, that's on them.
Right?
Is 100%? I said this last week. There's 100% chance of surviving, or you're gonna trust
humanity.
You're gonna trust
Flawed humanity.
And flawed humanity is chosen red for the majority of time.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Majority of existence.
It's an unfortunate truth. It was kind of like in The Dark Knight, like at the end where you had the two ships, and they could have at any moment hit the button and destroyed the other ship,
Right.
and they decided not to. But then they had the wild card that they didn't know of. The Joker that got stopped by Batman was like, well, I'm going to push him anyway. So they kind of had no fight in this.
Fantastic point to draw upon.
So that's why it's like I'm trusting the red button more.
So wait, how did it come out in Batman?
So in Batman, they had the two ships. They had the convict ship and the civilian ship.
Right.
And they were posed. They had 1 hour.
And who picked what?
So they chose not to pull the
Both
trigger.
of them, even
Both
the
of them,
criminals.
even the
Because one
criminals.
was a boat of people from jail,
Yes.
and one was a regular civilian
And the
boat.
one criminal is the one that took their detonator and threw it out the window.
Because
just
he
made
viewed
the
themselves
decision.
already as condemned people. Yeah. But the irony was, and Batman ended up saving them in the end, was the Joker was like, well, you want to know the good thing about a plan is it always goes how you want it to. Because he was going to push the button to blow it up anyways. So it was like, either way.
But I don't know. I know it's a fictional story, but I kind of draw upon that. Like it further enhances my point that even the criminals didn't choose self-preservation over not even, how about this? Not even the morally righteous civilian boat, which committed no crimes, abided by the laws. The other, and you saw this dialogue in the movie where those people, they committed their sins against society. We didn't. Right. So they deserve it, not us. Right. And even they decided we'll go down with this rather than combusting our moral code out of fear or, again, self-preservation.
But if I were to place myself in their shoes, if I was on the civilian side, I would have been like, yeah, we're pushing that button. Or I wouldn't have hesitated.
On the civilian boat?
I'd have been like, yeah, we're pushing that button. We're pushing the button.
You're cruel. You're cruel. I mean, I can't blame you.
Like, especially in that scenario where I know what the other boat is consisting of, I'd have been like, yeah, pushing the button. Pushing the button. Look, they're going immediately back home to life in prison. Yeah, making this easy for them, saving us tax money.
Right, exactly.
Button.
People have free will, and it's your free will to say, I'm gonna take my chance with humanity, or I'm gonna be logical and make sure I'm on the other side.
Exactly. I'm trying to find the name of this young lady that is in our next video. It's not displaying it. For that, I apologize. I'm gonna find it here, and then I'll announce it as we get going. But with that being said, I want to display again this young lady who I think had the perfect dialogue, like the perfect simulated scripted dialogue that played this thought experiment out to its fullest, to its final conclusion.
Choose the red button. Why would I put myself at risk when everyone could live if they just choose the red button? I would choose the blue button. I don't think that people deserve to die just because they made one decision. And so I would throw my hat into the ring and hope that other people do the same. But why would you make that decision? You're introducing unnecessary risk by choosing blue. Everyone would live if you choose red. I agree, everyone would live if everyone chose red, but based upon what we know of society, there's absolutely no chance that everyone would choose red. So I don't think that it's fair to doom somebody to death over a choice, so I would choose blue. Everyone was given the same exact prompt though. Everyone has the exact same information. If they decided to make a choice that would put them as a hero, great, that's their choice, but I don't have to put my life at risk just because they wanted to be a hero. I mean, sure, everyone has access to the same information, but I mean, if everybody is choosing this button, you're talking about children, the elderly, the disabled. Somebody could misunderstand the question and choose blue. Children might not understand the question.
Said that so much better than I did. So much nicer.
And choose
Yeah, she
a
probably had,
random
like, 5
colors.
takes.
So are we saying that they deserve to die just because they weren't able to understand the question to its entirety and choose, as you would put it, the right option? Why should I have to put my life at risk for their decision? There's absolutely no guarantee that my vote would make any sort of difference, and there's no guarantee that enough people would choose the blue button to save everybody, so I could just be killing myself for nothing. But how can you choose the red button knowing that your vote could save somebody, but you're instead choosing to save yourself and dooming those people to death? I mean, nobody has to die if everybody chooses the blue button, but everyone who chooses the blue button has to die if you choose the red button. But I don't know who is choosing the blue button and who is choosing the red button. Nobody could be choosing the blue button, and I could just be killing myself while everybody else is choosing the red button. And everybody could be choosing the blue button, and you were the only person that chose the red button. It's blind both ways. But one introduces unnecessary risk. If everybody chose red, everybody would live. But if everybody chose blue, everybody would live. And I mean, I could say the same thing about the red button. The red button dooms everybody who hits blue to death. But the blue button doesn't do the same. So who is introducing the risk? The blue button or the red button? Okay, now you're just trying to swirl the argument and get it all convoluted. I agree, this isn't really going anywhere, and we probably won't see each other's points of views. Although I do believe that we both have valid points of views. It's just what you care about. Exactly, we can just agree to disagree and not talk about the subject again.
I just love that that's where all of our politics lend to. We'll just never talk about this again. I think that is, it's, there's a meme that we've shown on this show a long time ago of a 6 or a 9 drawn on a ground, and there's 2 people standing on either side, and they're pointing at it, and he goes, "It's a 6." And the other guy goes, "No, it's a 9." And it's just dependent on your perspective. What side of the image you're standing on totally defines what number it is. That it doesn't make one wrong over the other. It's that there are multiple angles of rightness in, you know, when shaking out a moral code. It's hard to measure. That's why thinkers and philosophers have been able to dissect this over 3,000 years. So let's now bring it back to the hantavirus cruise. It is interesting that, you know, what is the right answer? They them goes, we don't know. There is none. And let's not talk about it and just move on. It's like, well, that doesn't solve anything either. Because conversations get difficult or uncomfortable doesn't mean we don't have them or there's no fruits in the pursuit of them. So kind of drawing it upon this scenario, isn't it wild that the whole world was like, just leave it out there?
Yeah.
This is the best possible scenario for a virus. The whole world was like, red button for them.
Yep.
Ba-boop. And what's crazy about this scenario, it's not even damning them to death.
No.
It's just, ride it out there without your blankie and your mom.
Extend their vacation a week.
Yeah. Literally the only difference is it's not on my land.
Yes.
Like it's not where my feet are touching.
You don't even have to sail. Just like anchor the boat, sit out there for.
And then let's just say we make that declaration. Declaration, the world push the red button. We ought to stay on the cruise.
I'm just saying, it's PTSD.
What does the cruise immediately do? They go put them in the fucking basement. They're not frolicking at the cruise disco with the Jake with the hantavirus is dancing in the middle of disco. They're like, no, grab his khaki ass and put it in the basement. So the fact that they would do it to themselves on their own isolated boat means, why did you let 23 of them leave and go across the world?
They pushed blue.
They pushed blue. A blue on you and a blue on you and a blue on you.
Thanks for the blue.
Yeah. Now it makes you want to push a button. Oh, damn it. It's in the room. in our rethink take closet, I'd be
Yeah. I mean,
push it for us, Doug.
It was a cool it was a cool thought experiment for it because in one moment it all came so clear. Red was the logical answer. Maybe not for the thought scenario, but in the hantavirus scenario, it is funny. You've mentioned everybody has had the same opinion. Just leave them out there.
I was less apt to jump to that example because it isn't a direct correlation. No. But it's similar and it's perfect timing.
It's similar enough to where, again, the reason Ricky and I push Reddit's, guys, just leave it, just anchor the boat out there for 2 weeks.
Literally,
that's all you had to do.
It doesn't have a lifespan beyond 8 weeks maximum.
Right.
So this isn't much to ride out. And you're on a cruise ship that has everything. It has your own jails, hospitals, kitchens, doctors. Yeah, you've got your own
entertainment.
They have a police force on the boat too.
Do you understand how these things can work? We can bring you food.
Yes, we can airdrop it on you.
Oh my God. You could have Jeff Bezos drone drop some packages, Kind bars right on top.
And you said you had Light and the Loafer Jake at the Blue Button. Now
It's
he's
like
back in Nebraska.
We're real people too. So Doug, what would you do if you were in this scenario?
I already answered.
Oh, you don't have the red button? There's no button?
No, I couldn't find a button.
Dang.
It wasn't in the closet.
Yeah, my answer stayed the same.
I'm shocked you came out. You were gonna go in the closet, I just get stuck in there.
Now I'm in the closet.
Now he's in the closet. I'm hiding in the closet. And then you got a midget.
That's how I got my gun.
Crazy side tangent. Who'd you say? Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Darn. Crazy. Totally different, but not. I'm Greek. The Greeks did something cool this week.
Oh, cool. Did they hit the red button?
Oh, yeah.
They took back Cyprus.
They pushed the
Wait,
shit
they
out of the
took
red
back
button for
Cyprus.
one person. So Tom Hanks bought Little St. James Island 2.0, which is this like giant luxurious island in international waters right outside of Greece. Mind you, to run away from culpability in America, he became a dual citizen in Greece. So if he ever needs to flee, he can flee, apparently. Allegedly.
Wow.
So
Conscious of a not guilty man right there.
he likes gloves, they say. If you know, you know. So similar. Cappy, baby. Anyway, there's an island. He's trying before Little St. James Island 2.0 could get off the ground. There was a tiff between him and Greece where they were, look at Ricky knows, dude, watch out. Tom Hanks is going to appear behind you. He has a fascination for lone gloves.
It's like when you say Biggie Smalls in the
Google
mirror
it.
3 times.
So he is banned from mainland Greece. And that means
He has citizenship still there.
Well, he can't. Yes. Well, no, I don't know.
Okay, I was like, wait.
He doesn't have citizen. It's not that his citizenship is invalid. It's one of those, we want ya. Like, come on. Come on. We have a subpoena. And then he's like, I don't have to. And they're like, well, then fine. We're just going to starve you. We're not going to let you come to Greece to get any food. And the closest docking country for food is 800 miles away.
Mm.
Who keeps coming in that damn door? I got to tell you, ever since that restaurant opened up, that's part of the reason why I don't like that door being unlocked. That's happened 3 times, twice before we went live. And now it's just people that come in and they're like, oh. And really, it's all the bus boys next door that just get interesting. Like, what are they doing back there?
And they're like,
Looks like a good time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you enter the lobby and it's all the lights and coming soon. They're like, whoa. They put a Valley View in the shopping center.
They got a Cinemark here?
Cinemark? Yeah, that's what. Sorry, Valley. You put a Cinemark in here?
Yeah, it's the put movies on it.
So, yeah, just interesting tidbit that Tom Hanks is not allowed on mainland
Yeah, good
Greece.
for them. Hit the red button.
Oh, yeah.
Red button is the safe button.
Red button's winning today.
Red button is the safe button.
So, Ricky, I think
The
I'm
next
coming
topic
around.
will be a red button one as well, too.
All right. Let's pivot. Oh, no, wait. Before we pivot, the Dre dossier, as we kind of navigate this weird scenario, she has some advice for the folks. And I think it's some good advice. You're going to hear it. You're going to go, yeah, I know that. But you really don't think about it. And it's not enough of your common practice.
Before we share any health-related videos, especially about like the hantavirus, or really just in general share videos, we should get in the practice of this. Maybe go to the person's profile and watch like one other video that they make. Just one. It could be any of them. Just go and randomly click on another video on their profile before you share the video that you think sounds really confident, really smart, and like really good information. Okay, they could be all of those things, and the information could all be correct and good, in which case, wonderful. I just think we should really practice doing that.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a bad idea.
Check your source.
Check your sources. Speaking of which, here's just a random source I pulled out of the ethos. No, this is Dr. Zev Zelenko. He's one of God's chosen people, so you know it's true. Here's some solid advice, rationale, biology, understanding of these types of viruses, and it's good knowledge to walk away from the topic with.
Yeah, hi, good morning. This is Dr. Zelenko. I'd like to give you a biology
Black
lesson.
has seen some rough years.
There are many viruses in the world, and we categorize them based on their genetic material. And so there's a class of viruses called single-stranded RNA viruses. And some of those viruses include all the COVID strains, COVID-19, influenza virus, RSV virus, Marburg virus, Ebola virus, hantavirus, and there are a few others. The point being is that they all are single-stranded RNA viruses that use the same common pathway in making copies of their genetic material. That's something called RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. That's what I've been talking about for the last 2 years in the context of COVID-19. But if we extrapolate that to think more broadly, then it's the same mechanism of treatment using zinc ionophores and zinc could inhibit all the strains of COVID-19, influenza virus, RSV virus, Ebola virus, Marburg virus, and hantavirus. This has tremendous amount of national security implications. And I don't think anyone realizes this. And so I'm pleading with our scientists and the honest people in our government to investigate this, because as the recent chatter in the news is going, we're seeing hemorrhagic fever from China. There's concern about Marburg virus, hantavirus, and Ebola virus. These viruses carry, to some estimates, 90% death rates. So I think there may be a solution to all these huge public health and bioterrorist problems, all with one simple, cheap, oral approach. Basically, what I'm saying is if the whole world had enough vitamin D3, high normal levels of vitamin D3, and enough intracellular zinc, we can eradicate most of these health threats. Thank you, and God bless you.
That's the more fascinating angle to all of this. It's like across that whole list, high volumes of vitamin D, the sun, hence why they want to lock you inside, and high levels of zinc tend to really eradicate all of it. So, allegedly, consult your expert doctor, trust the science, you don't know shit. But it's good to at least put it on your radar, so at least, you can think about it. Have it in the back of your mind as it sweeps through your family. Now, let's get to an even crazier cruise headline. As some of you guys know, I've got a little bit of a history with the Disney cruise. It's wild to think that they stopped at Little St. James Island for snorkeling. It's just a snorkeling detour. We head on over to Little St. James Island in the Bahamas for a snorkeling expedition. Also, mind you, there has been a long line of connections between Jeffrey Epstein, the Maxwell family, and Disney. So, look at this. They're just picking their favorites.
Yeah, that Donald Duck doesn't look terrifying or anything.
Here's one of the EFTAs from the Epstein files. They have special access, don't worry, to where I can't get extra Disney tickets sent for your guest. I have special access, don't worry. What's the access? Donald Duck's back door. Da-dum-dum. So, what's the news today? It's convenient that a hantavirus coming from a cruise that you really don't even need to be worried about, but it's just another scare tactic in the headlines, coincides perfectly the same week with an investigation that found 27 cruise ship workers, including from Disney, engaged with CP and the trafficking of that material. Not humans. They don't got them on the hook for that. At least that we know of. But the transaction of the materials. One thing I do want to remind folks as we kind of flush the story out more, this recently came out of Polk County, Florida.
It took 6 days
Where
for the
Disney
sheriff's
is.
office to find 108 people trying to buy or sell sex in Polk County.
Then there's Xavier Jackson. He's 27.
Hey, Xavier.
He is accused of sending sexual images to someone he thought was a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, did I mention that he just happens to be a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort for Disney? You think there's a few children around there?
Sheriff Grady Judd identified several other Disney employees accused of soliciting a prostitute.
This is the Honorable Daniel Peters.
Sheriff Judd said Peters is a retired judge from Cook County, Illinois, who thought he was meeting up with an escort.
He said, quote, I've been on the other side of this. Well, I'd like to ask you today, so which side do you like best?
In one case, detectives had to reschedule a meeting. The sheriff says Bradenton's Seth Phillips demanded money anyway and showed up at the house with his girlfriend and a gun.
We opened the door with 4 of our guys with guns, and he's got a gun above his head.
I thought and he goes, who's ready to get goofy?
He's coming down with his gun. Christina saves his life by jumping in front of him.
Nobody was hurt, but they were both taken into custody.
Well, love lost there. So what do we think? Do we think just a coincidence?
Red button.
Red button for the whole Disney cruise.
All of it. All of it. Disney's become something unrecognizable to anybody with access to the internet. So young children, it's still Disney. And I want it to remain that Disney for them up until they have access to the internet, because then it's off the rail.
We agree that's who this is for.
Yes. Yeah, it's been for that and parents taking them to experience that. That's what it should be. That's what it should have always been. I guess my curiosity is, because it's deeper than this topic. This topic, no one's shocked. I'm definitely not shocked. Nobody's shocked. We had a topic months ago about swinger parties at Disney resorts. So they are amongst the families taking their young children to go and take photos with the college kids dressed up as Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Right. That's the bit. But they believe it because they're children, and they should. And I'm happy for them. It's just turned into this thing. To me, this is deeper than the hantavirus thing. The hantavirus thing is kind of funny at this point. I don't know why I think COVID ruined my brain. I find it funny. This isn't funny because this isn't going away. It's only getting weirder. Like, it's become this entire embodiment. And I'm not talking about Disney buying everything, making everything has ESPN is owned by Disney. Like, they own all this stuff. But
there's like a culture.
The culture around Disney is disgusting.
Cult-like.
Aside from what it is to young children.
Right.
What it is to young children is what it should be.
But that's different. What their relationship to them is different than it is to this cult.
Yes, and it's just growing. I don't even know if the people working, like the people they like pointed out, the sheriff was showing, or even Disney people, they're just employees there, but they're around this 24/7. They don't vet these people because they don't care. Obviously,
they need so many workers.
right? And like it's a lifeguard, and then you find out he's buying and selling explicit material for what? Disney Pass? Like, what are you selling this for? Let alone having it to begin with, and then it's selling it to who? More people in the parks and stuff like that. It's such a weird, disgusting culture that, I mean, I'm very thankful that my parents never took me to Disney as kids. You know, where my parents took me to the kids, it was always by the lake, at the boat, hunting, all those things. I'm so thankful I missed it, because then when I got older, and I was never a Disney kid. I watched like the movies, Monsters Inc. I liked them and stuff like that. I was more of a Cartoon Network kid. I'm so glad I just see it and I'm like, yeah, it's so weird, but it's only getting weirder. Every 6 months, there's a new story Disney related where they're just like, it's just like an embodiment there. Like it's weirder than a cult. It's something different.
Well, and maybe this is something that adds to that feeling or that perspective. But there was I wanted to see how long he'd go. I was curious how long Doug was asleep. There was an interesting comment tweeted at that video, the Polk County video, and it was, "You're all so," I mean, again, it was totally a troll if it wasn't a bot, but it was, "You're all so stupid. Wouldn't you all innately understand that if you make spaces for children, that's a beacon for PDF files? Like, of course, that's where they're gonna go, is like, if you're gonna make child spaces, people that have an appetite for children are gonna go there." And I think that's part of it too. All over
100%.
TikTok is Lily Tino's back at Disney.
And it's like, crazy.
Disney, why'd you cave on that?
Yes.
And we should make their life hell for caving on that.
Yes.
But you held up. You had a sexual deviant filming in the bathrooms of a child's play park.
Yes, and it's only getting worse. It's like you said, Disney is, I can't think of the word for it.
But let's agree. I think this is different than a place you go for amusement.
Yes.
When it opens in the early 1900s, like, 1960, when your parents' age are going to the early inception of Disney in Walt's dream, that is a balance of social play in your community. But now Disney is the child's play space, right? Like, Chuck E. Cheese's don't exist. Cedar Point is for all ages. Universal, even more so for all ages. While it does appeal to kids, Disney is hyper. And now, like you said, through power, money, and influence, it's kind of like the Coke. There's only one Coca-Cola. There's Pepsi and Coke.
Right.
Disney has become the combination of the two. If you find anything else that is like a soda pop, RC Cola, any other knockoff, it's like, yeah, it's similar, but it ain't that. And so Disney is kind of the definition, the monopoly, which allows it to continue to grow, of children's spaces. Nickelodeon tag team with Universal, then abandoned that efforts early on. So even if you were to watch Nickelodeon, which it's one of those, like, does that shit even exist anymore? But I guess it kind of does. Right.
But that's all.
But again, that channel, that network is dying, especially as it bends the knee to Universal. Ironically, Cartoon Network also was in bed with Universal in some ways, having some Cartoon Network themed rides, but neither of them. So Disney's bigger than just a location for fun, whether it's in Florida or Los Angeles. Just like Universal, you've got Orlando or Los Angeles.
Kings Island used to be owned by Paramount, and so all the rides
they had
used to be
cartoon
Paramount,
themed
Nickelodeon
rides.
themed rides.
Sure. But again, that was ancillary, where this is what I was getting at this is beyond different. This isn't a theme park where you're on a roller coaster like you're at Six Flags and it's themed like the Batman. This is, we own the networks, so the programs, the television, movies, the cinema. Dude, I went to go see my friend, year younger than me, has 2 young girls. I go visit his house in Kentucky. His daughter's obsession, she only wears Disney princess dresses. So you got a 5-year-old that only wears Disney princess dresses. Super excited to show me. I got this, the frog lady from Louisiana, and this other one. I don't know, Frozen maybe. And he's like, and she's got 50 others. And all she's going to do is wear these. So now what Cedar Point didn't have that grip on her.
No.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Like, or let's Six Flags. Even if they had a, like, let's say she's a Dora fan, Dora the Explorer, and Six Flags had a Dora ride. It's like Six Flags doesn't have the power over your kid that Nickelodeon does. Right? And Disney owns both of those conduits.
Yep.
That's in the scenario of Disney World.
And the sickening part is while the young 5-year-old has 50 Disney princess outfits, as she showed, because she's 5, you have 35-year-old people with the same thing. So it's this weird cult-like commercialization that Disney just feeds into.
Well, and it's an inability to grow up, and society no longer requires people to. And we have an influx in autism. So now you have an influx in adults that can't grow up or get beyond the nostalgia. Doug, what's up?
Well, you mentioned too, like Walt's original vision. Dude, Epcot was actually supposed to be a futuristic city. He wanted people to live there, work there, experiment, and create there. And he actually got certified by the state of Florida to have a nuclear reactor.
Yep.
It just never got put in there to power it.
Yeah, well, thank
Dude,
God.
it's crazy the vision he originally had and now what it really is.
Yeah, isn't that funny, Doug?
That's why when I started it, I was like, Disney's become this, it's a monster. Like, it's a monster outside of the young children that it was originally made for. It's just this entire different beast, from the workers to the adults that just go for the enjoyment. It's this weird cult, and it's never going to stop. It's only going to get worse. You're only going to get more stories like this. It's only going to get more disgusting too.
Right. I mean, again,
like, I'm so glad you brought up the Lily Tino thing, because I saw that pop up within the last week. I'm just thinking in my head, it's like, my biggest issue with Disney is Disney completely just encourages it rather than going,
hold a position, draw a line.
You cannot be doing this.
That's it. Their inability to draw a line is the problem.
Yes.
Like, here's the thing. You can have some cat people, freaks, weirdos, those ostracized from society. But the fact that you can't draw the line beyond anybody,
right?
Like even predators.
Yes.
That's the problem. So, Ricky, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, creepy people is going to be creepy people. We need to just isolate those people. You know what I mean? Like, I get Disney's weird in its fact, but like, you have Chuck E. Cheese's, you hear incidents about shit like that over the years. So it's just like, these creeps are always going to try to infiltrate and find a way. And Disney, yes, they enable it in a way, but like, I'm pretty sure there's stories about Universal, Six Flags. We heard about Cedar Point.
But so here's my only retort to you is whether it's Chuck E. Cheese, Roblox, Disney, or if you guys recall, Giant Eagle, or think of your local supermarket, they used to just have like a little hole in the wall playpen while your parent went and shopped. Doesn't matter if it's the little 2-person playpen in the grocery store, Chuck E. Cheese, or a digital realm like Roblox. If it is a child space, we got to agree that that is a target for people with the appetite of children, which means you need to be hyper vigilant, which means I would say the Giant Eagle hole in the wall that can fit maybe 2 kids in their plastic slide, the grocery store daycare, I would think they would have to be a little less vigilant than Disney, whose attraction, influence, and beacon reaches 150 million kids in America alone.
Yes. I mean, it's global.
It's global.
It's global and
billions.
And you worded it perfectly. It's the Burger King playpen is not going to be as vigilant as Disney. The problem is Disney does nothing to be vigilant
Nothing.
about it.
Just like Roblox. Roblox is making so much money on perverted adults swimming in the pond with children
and Roblox
that they have a financial incentive to ignore it.
Yes.
Hence why they'll make war with a kid named Schlepp who was groomed on their platform, has captured 8 perverts and counting, because that's a problem for the bottom dollar.
Yep. And that's Disney to a T. And that's I will never come around on Disney.
So let's ask ourselves, this is the bigger question, and I'm coming to you because that was your final point, cherry on top. When you see something like this, the first iteration of the Disney cruise was stopping at Little St. James, Epstein's Island for snorkeling excursions. What is the peddler in that situation?
Well, Alex,
money? Or is it because Ghislaine and this family are so deep? Getty Images, they own it. This is ours. So deeply embedded in Disney that it was part of the network. It was part of the plan.
I actually know this reason. I know the reason. Now, if you look, every major cruise line owns their own island that they stop at for these excursions. But back in the day, they didn't own this. So they usually contracted with the rich people that own these islands. And that's really why this does have a different web. But if you look back in time versus today, it was real common for cruise ships to stop at places like this because they didn't own their own islands. Now they all own their own damn island, which is even crazier to me.
So this is where I love Doug's historical accuracy, because the truth of the matter is they caught a check for it.
Yep.
Disney stroked a check to Jeffrey Epstein so your 8-year-old's little booty could put on the swimmies and snorkel in front of some of the scientists and politician homies.
Yep.
Stephen Hawking's just sitting there like, oh my God, there are starfish. And he got a front row seat.
Got like little binoculars. Come up with their hand just to see it.
If you don't laugh at the absurdity of our situation, you better have a pitchfork. Otherwise, you're a problem.
And again, that's just the elites doing it, let alone the Lilitinos of the world just gallivanting throughout the park.
Well, great point. So this is where my frustration keeps coming in. The most transparent administration in history loves going, look, we caught a couple. And it's like, getting Lilitino doesn't impress me in a world of Jeffrey Epstein's.
Yeah, now when he's posting TikToks about it every day.
Right.
That's like the most obvious get him.
Well, it's one of those, like, the people you're getting is your low-level nobody. Right. Like, okay, he got 150 images from Reddit. Getting the guy in the neighborhood down the street. He's not the guy that took the picture, sold it through the network, got it outside the network, and then got it to him on Reddit.
He like money laundered this photograph so it can't trace it back.
It's just like the only effort you ever see from the system in addressing this situation or problem is the most irrelevant pieces to the story.
Yes.
Because you're right. It's like
they're literal bottom feeders.
Yes.
In society and the way they do it.
Yeah.
Like in what they are.
Dude, I wish I could play it again just to motivate any viewers that are watching. But it's like in a world where Lilitino is having Mickey Mouse ears in front of children with 2 Mickey Mouse cake pops going, and then the doctor took away my cake pops, so now it's a sucker. And you're just like, don't talk to my kid.
I will never go to that place. I'll never take my kids there. I don't care how hard they cry. They're like, you're never going there.
Let's be honest. We're not going to be able to afford Disney, man. It's
Dude, I don't want to. I don't want to be able to
jumped
afford it
so
either.
much. I just saw a graph. The prices have increased every year since 2014. It just, and on top of that, it was already expensive in 2014. Now it's outrageously expensive to go.
Dude, my family were set to go to Universal last October. My mom had some medical issues. We came home early. Universal was able to postpone it and give it to us again this October.
Oh, cool.
So we kind of saved on some of the old rates, but also had to pay extra on some of the other things like the front of the line passes, everything else. Dude.
Yeah, those used to be free too. Lightning passes used to be free at Disney if you stayed at a hotel.
They've never been free unless you stay at a hotel.
Right.
So sure, you
You're
can
paying for
you
it.
could still get it at a Disney hotel too, a Universal hotel as well. But you're paying out the anus.
Disney, you still
for
have to
these.
pay now. Even if you stay at a hotel, you got to pay for the fast pass, and it's so
Dude, Disney sucks in
Yeah, Disney
every
sucks.
sense of the way.
We're not even talking about the
Money
Predators.
But again, getting back to just even this personal experience with Universal. Mother's Day, we're driving to dinner. My dad looks at me and he goes, so we didn't have front of the line passes originally for Epic Universe. Now we did. It's $250 a person.
I was going to say a person.
And the biggest complaint online is they sell out of them immediately. The park's way too overrun. And if you try to buy them the day of, they don't have any. They're all sold out. And so it's like, I'm glad they hold line. Like they're not overselling front of the line passes. So at least there's still some value to them. But as a family that has really gone to Universal a lot and, across a long time, it's been stupid expensive. Now it's at a point where it's at the outrageousness of Disney, where you are paying, dude,
a full pay
a car.
Yeah.
Like you're paying a car
Yeah.
for your 4 family members to enjoy an amusement park. We're going to 3 different parks. It's all the same.
Yes.
You're paying a car.
And see, at Disney, they are, in my opinion, actual multiple giant parks. Universal is just one big park with
It's 3 parks now.
sections. Yeah.
3 amusement parks, all very separate from each other. So you have to pay a ticket entrance fee for all 3 separate parks. 4
You
actually,
have
if
to
you
be
count the water park. You went to 2 of them.
No, but I mean, to pay each individually now.
They're not. Doug hasn't been there. Doug doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. They're as big as Disney. They're
No, I know
3
they're big,
full parks.
But what I'm saying is they don't have an offer where you could buy one ticket.
Oh,
and you have
sure.
access to all
Okay,
4.
so they have Universal Islands of Adventure, and then they have Universal Hollywood Studios. The 2 of those, you could get a combined ticket, and it's like, you save some money versus if you bought them individually.
Okay.
It's worth it because if you have the Park Hopper Pass, you can get on a Harry Potter train that takes you from one park to the other, and the experience from one to the other is different. So if you're going to Gringotts, it's different than if you're going to the school. And it's like...
Oh, I remember this. Okay, yeah.
So you got to have the Park Hopper ticket to be able to do that. But it's 2 separate parks, and now they've built Epic Universe, which is a 3rd, and then they have a water park called Volcano Bay. Doug really wants to talk about Disney because he's one of those adults that can't get beyond it. But the reason I'm even saying any of this, what I wanted to get at is I looked at my dad and I go, this is the last time we're doing this ever. Like, why this is so special, why it's worth backing up a dump truck full of cash. Because, dude, it's a stupid, absurd amount of money that's being spent on 3 days. Oh, and plus now they got their Halloween Horror Nights. So we're spending for a ticket just to go to their haunted houses. And dude, each haunted house is a 2-hour wait. So now you're paying $115 for the front of the line passes for just the haunted house engagement. Dude, stupid amount of money to the point where it's like, I remember now put spoiled me on my grandma's couch in Florida in 2008. Where it's like I'm begging for front of the line passes. And the front of the line pass was $50.
Yeah,
It was 50 extra bucks. My dad's like, but that's friggin' outrageous.
And you know what? I don't even think it's inflation. I just think it's corporate greed.
Well, and then when you learn how, the many ways that inflation is manufactured and fake, it's just like, well, these are the mechanisms they use to just jump it, just leap it. So, coming full circle, this is a very special trip because it's probably the last I'm ever going to do with my parents. I could see in the future I do it with my kids. This is probably the last with my parents. Or maybe when they're grandparents, if we do it right or quick enough. Time's a ticking. But it's sad that we live in a world where, on the flip side, across Orlando, there are folks that cannot afford their kids' lunches, at school. However, they are going to forego and put themselves in a foreclosure or eviction situation because they're going to get to Disney. They're going to take their kid to Disney, whatever it is. Like, one, it's become unaffordable. I accept that. But the people that are making dumb financial decisions for the sake of getting them to these spaces, this amusement park, and then we learn how unsafe these spaces are.
Yeah.
It's outrageous what people are willing to spend for what? Back to your point. And I can't help but think it is this battle against autism we're dealing with, where it's just these adults are broken and have no ability to grow up.
Imagine spending all that money and you get on the teapot ride and Lily Tino's right next to you.
Have you guys seen online too? Like, I see this online all the time, that it's cheaper to actually fly to Japan and go to Disneyland Tokyo than to actually go to Disney World here in the US.
Yeah, I bet you they're not freaks at that one.
They're probably not.
I'm just saying.
And the ones that are stand out, they're like, Florida people flew here.
They shun those people. I guarantee you they shun them.
Oh, dude. Japan with a smile.
Shunned, and I would do it too.
I don't like you.
I would just understand they're yelling at them, and I'd start yelling with them.
Yeah, you tell them.
Yeah,
get them.
Yeah, I'd dap them up. You're like, yeah, get that one. Like, seriously, you ever see the one? This is going to sound really mean, so if those people end up watching it, I hope they feel offended. There's a video of these 5 giant rhinoceros-sized women at Disney, and they're on the teapots and like the rides, and they're doing like a dance to Lady Gaga, and they're all in like a Disney princess outfit with the ears on. And then they have their one autistic gay friend there with them, and they're just like they're cruising around the park. And then they had a second video. They're like, sometimes we get heat rashes because of the heat, and sometimes it bothers us. And I was like, oh, does it? Is that what's bothering you? Is that what's bothering you? Because we want to know what's bothering me is knowing the amount of money you probably spent to do this and look like clowns and ruin the experience from probably a regular family of taking their 3 kids there. They all could have fit on that, but it took 2 of you to take up one giant teapot. That's great. No, that's awesome.
And hey, that's the now financial approach Disney wants to take. That's our demographic.
Them, cruise people, and Taylor Swift cultists, like, they are just an ulcer in this society.
Yeah.
Let alone the predator people.
It's true. Ricky, what are your rapping thoughts on this whole cruise chaos?
I'm happy I'm not up in arms with those type of shenanigans. I don't care for Disney or going to those places that feel joy, or like, I don't want that experience. I just need to be on a beach with a beer and a spliff.
The bear?
And I'm good. A beer.
Oh, beer. Okay.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. Those destination places is not for me, especially where there's kids yelling and running around. I'm cool.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'm not going there for my own personal fun. I would agree. I'd hope that isn't where you go for your fun.
I hope you do have fun.
Hey, I mean, Doug did it by himself just a couple weeks ago. Drinking at Disney.
See, that's one thing I'll do. If I go
drank
to
around
like
the world at Epcot, and that was more fun than waiting hours in lines for rides that would have made me sick.
shit
Dude,
like that.
That makes him sick. What?
That sounds fun. Drinking around the world. But I wouldn't want to do it in America. I want to go, like Doug said, in Japan and drink around the world. Just because
I don't think they have an Epcot in Japan.
I was just about to say that. I don't know if they have that there, but that would be so much more fun drinking around the world in Japan.
They do. They do.
Oh, I'm good.
So, but it's just too much. Like, it seems like less kids over there running around. It just seems less chaotic.
Well, everything about there is well behaved. Any rapping thoughts on the cruise situation? It doesn't surprise me at all that staffers of the Disney cruise have an appetite for what they're serving on the cruise.
No, and it's not going to stop. That's the sad reality that Disney has this country in. Is it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. I would just love it for at some point there be an administration that goes in and just sets up sting operations to literally go into Disney and grab some of these people in front of everybody while they're dressed up in whatever Lily Tino is wearing that day. Literally grab them, cuff them in the park, take them out, just to set a warning, be like, we're doing this now. Yeah, we know you people are all here. We see you post your swinger TikToks. You guys love it here. So do we. We love it now too because we see them, and now we're going in and getting you.
Oh,
that would be accountability.
I would love that.
Now you would see it. You would see a culture shock in that community.
You know what's funny, real quick? People are against these flock cameras. We've talked about it, but they post all this shit online. It's like, how is that any different than letting the cops just track your car? I mean, you're tracking yourself at that point.
Good point.
Great transition point, Doug, because the last little final piece that we have for today's episode is talking about some of the updates we have around data centers, flock cameras, and AI. So also coming out of Florida is the UCF commencement as the whole college class erupts regarding the speech givers dialogue surrounding artificial intelligence.
The rise of artificial intelligence is the next industrial revolution. What happened? Okay, I struck a chord. May I finish?
May I finish? My boomer dad. Yeah, let her finish. Right here. Right here. It looks like I struck a chord. Wait, are you telling me the speech about the tool that's going to replace all working members of society didn't go over well to the kids that are 100,000 plus in debt to be your future working class? That didn't go over smooth to them? Oh, shocker.
You want to know the beauty of it is she's given so many speeches to people that have just blindly
that have to shill clap.
And then she just gave it to a bunch of drunks. No, they're going into the working
wait, no. Kids that literally have no skin in the game. Right. Bitch, I don't work for you anymore. I got the paper. What are you going to do? Expel me? Yeah. I got opinions. And now it's time. I've had to swallow them so I can get your stupid flipping grade. Now you get to hear mine. Try it again.
Only a few years ago, AI was not a factor in our lives.
Why would you do it then? I just love how the whole place erupts. Take a hint. Read the room, witch. Anyway, now, I don't know if you saw what came out of Utah. I can't tell if it was a staged event or actually the public, speaking their mind. But in Utah, there was a local hearing on the passage or acceptance of a data center, clearing out many, 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 many acres for Mr. Wonderful's future financial endeavor. And you should see the huge auditorium stuffed of people that came out in droves to have their opinions heard, saying, no, none of us stand by this. And the council representing them while in front of an auditorium stuffed of people saying nay, they go, oh, I guess it passes. And then they passed it right there. Dude, it's the craziest thing. But this is the...
All of this is false. Then why won't they let people talk? Why won't they let us ask questions? It's false. Yes. This is not real information. And we sit here like it's okay. It's a charade. It's a charade. It's false.
They all just start yelling shame at the commission. Kid, he's geeking.
Those people are lucky that they didn't storm
So I chose that clip because this is a guy that seemed like, you know, like a true community member. What made this an interesting situation was that there were a few people that were set up or staged in front of cameras that seemed a little less organic. So I didn't want to give them attention because I think that's the characters in this story that Mr. Wonderful wanted to focus our attention on, while also ignoring the fact that there were hundreds of people whose will was totally ignored by their counsel sitting in front of them. That being said, here's Mr. Wonderful's retort or response.
How are you offsetting these environmental concerns?
Well, I'm actually the only developer of data centers on Earth that graduated from environmental studies. So I'm pretty aware of what these concerns are. They are around air, water use, heat, noise, pollution. So sustainability is at the heart of what we do in terms of all these proposals. We not just Utah, we have 10,000 acres in Alberta, Canada with the same concerns. And so we search for the best technology. There's many air-cooled turbines now. So you're blending in air-cooled versus water. I mean, there's so many different ways to generate power. We can also put a percentage of the power generation through solar, wind, and batteries, because the battery technology is 10x more efficient than it was just 5 years ago. So that's very helpful because it makes the cost of energy lower. So no one, you know, if you're an environmentalist and you don't care about that stuff, of course you protest, and that's what happens. I noted, you know, what's happening in Utah right now is we think over 90% of the protesters are actually not people that live in Utah or Box Elder County. They're being bussed in, and so
they're being bussed in.
Aren't stupid. They see this happening, and they realize, why am I letting people from don't even live in my state make decisions for me? And I don't think it's going to work out for them. But there are professional protesters that are paid by somebody, I don't know who. And of course,
yeah, there are professional protesters, but I think this is a misapplication of that process.
You're seeing local people nationwide.
Yeah, this is a lot more organic than they want it to be.
Right. Yeah.
That being said, I want to make it real, make it a lot more homely and relatable. Here's a young girl, Ansley, and her account, it comes from Ansley's Garden. She's got a message about her personal experience around these data centers.
Hey, my name is Ansley. I wanted to come out here and show you guys firsthand what is happening in Coweta County, Georgia. Here in Coweta County, Georgia, Georgia Power is forcibly taking people's homes, okay? They have no choice in this matter. As
Eminent domain.
Me, these are the power lines, and this is my childhood home. My childhood home is being taken by Georgia Power. They are going to bulldoze this entire property to the ground. We don't have a choice in this. They are going to be expanding these power lines. Why? For the data centers. All of this is for the data centers. And you may think this might not affect you personally, but what happens when they come for your house next?
Real quick, Alex, like,
yeah.
I've mentioned this before, like Microsoft did things where they put like data centers underwater and it cut costs significantly because the being underwater, it's cold naturally. It just automatically cools it. You don't need everything else. You don't have the flow of water back into the ecosystem. But the problem is you have to constantly like replace them every now and then or pull them up and service it. You're telling me we can't just put a bunch of these things underwater instead of tearing out acres of land or people's houses or all that? Like, Microsoft did it. They did it for like a multi-year project and they proved it worked. So I don't get why we just don't put a bunch of these little centers underwater, pull them up now and then, do your maintenance, and then you don't have to have all this other shit to worry about.
The answer to that is the bottom line.
Well, and even more so, one of the things that I wish I knew we were going to go there, or, you know, if we had more time, I would have included a lot more videos. So I just kind of roughly pulled up an image of it. There was a series of videos that were going viral this week of helicopters driving over people's property, public property. Have you ever seen, do you know what this is for, Doug? So that giant machine is scanning the ground for groundwater deep below the surface. So yeah, Doug, they want water and everything else, but they don't need an ocean. They're gonna screw up the aquifers and the watershed by just building it into the ground
Yeah,
and
so there's
using
that
the
too. They still have
aquifers.
to use the water then for that, but then they also got to use electricity to like also run the coolers and everything. And that's
Right.
where if you put it underwater where it's already cool and you don't have to need that extra stuff, it actually costs less. Microsoft did a whole study on this and they proved it's actually more cost effective to do that than build up all this infrastructure.
Right. But Doug, you can't build a reliable data center over water. And those two things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Do you understand like how hard it is to maintain a boat for 2 years on the ocean?
Literally an underwater.
No, wait. Stop. Let a human finish the thought, and then you take a minute to try to digest it. All right. So take a second to try to think. If a boat can't handle the salt water just because it's exposed to the saltwater air, how do you think a hard drive containing millions of people's data, like terabytes and terabytes and terabytes per person, that's going to be able to withstand? Dude, Florida, yeah, it doesn't get snow, but they get hurricanes, they get wild weather. So, yeah, I guess you can't use the oceans. All right, so that takes what? 100% of the coast out of the equation. And now you're looking at the Great Lakes. Don't worry, Doug. You're not the only scientist to think about that. They are trying to suck up the Great Lakes, either building it alongside, within, or talking about us, Lake Erie. There is a groundwater aquifer that runs across Michigan. They want to build it there. That's going to have an impact on Lake Erie.
Yeah.
So, okay. With all these things considered, sometimes, Doug wants us to, he's getting all Douglas Murray on me. It goes with the name. He wants us, I should be appeal to the experts. It's the experts that know what they're doing, and I just need to shut up and let them work. That being said, sometimes the useful idiot is the one that gives the most profound point. Let me bring in the proletariat repair.
Hey, they're only referring to that Utah data center in terms of acreage because they're scum fucks who know the common man don't really know how to visualize an acre. Yeah, it would have had a lot more backlash if they said, it's 62 square miles. It's 3 times the size of Manhattan and will use more electricity in a day than the rest of the state will. Every day. I mean, granted, there was backlash and they still pushed it through. So, like, what does it really matter?
It's just funny. You dumb down the point. It's like, oh, it gets worse. And even then, people care. We still can't stop it.
That was an interesting human.
Oh, yeah. He shops at Walmart.
Dude, his head was shaped like an egg and his mustache was past his beard.
It actually was shaped like 2 eggs taped together.
That mustache was
crazy.
Hey,
don't get on the proletariat. He made some profound points.
Profound man.
Profound man.
Trim the mustache a little bit.
I appreciate it. Anyway, coming out of Dayton, Ohio, finally a stinking win as far as these damn data centers go.
I'm not sure that I've ever been as angry as I was Friday when I found this out. This is a failure of all levels. We are calling for immediate shutdown of software in the system, all the readers.
Why are we just now finding out? This was discovered in October, November. We received information in the end of April. Where's the gap?
There's major disappointment and distrust in this community now. I thought we had some good processes in place and we were assured that everyone was on the same page and that this would move forward in the way that it was intended to do so. Clearly, that did not happen.
I too agree with the public. The cameras need to be removed. We need to remove those cameras.
Words. Here they're talking about
city
flock cameras. So in Dayton, Ohio, they're getting rid of flock cameras.
Manager and chief to re-examine all of our data sharing policies and the processes that ensure compliance with commission direction and policy to make absolutely sure this breakdown is not repeated.
Continue to hold us accountable. We got much work we need to do, and we're going to hold the city manager and all of the staff accountable as well.
I got to say, as far as city councils go, This was the most impressive representation.
Productive.
Yeah, productive, well said, presented strongly, and I feel as though the community, I can't speak because it ain't my community, but I feel like the community feels represented because I'm not even there and I feel represented. So kudos to them. Now, a thinker that we've had on the past, one of the more recent times we were talking about flock cameras, I want to bring in Ka Burbank as she brings in a whole nother additional consideration with flock cameras once again.
Happens when flock cameras are so small, they're undetectable. This is the future of mass surveillance, according to the police chief of Scarsdale, New York, in a new lawsuit. He said although it's true that once installed the equipment is observable because flock cameras are a monstrosity, it may also go unnoticed by many suspects as it takes some level of sophistication to spot and recognize. And he's using this as a reason to not disclose the locations of cameras to.
So we've shown on the past that the CEO, company, the owners of flock cameras are making the claim that it is terrorism to know where the flock cameras are. Now there's a chief of police that is using a lawsuit to allege the fact that, well, the public, if they're driving past flock cameras without knowing what they are anyway. So they don't have a duty to know. And if they can prove that they don't have a duty to know, then they also can start creating a justification for protection, for isolation, for covering up their locations, their whereabouts, and really in the end, what that's going to lead to is the tech itself. We don't need to explain it to you. Just know that we have it, and you know the metrics that it's calculating. You don't need to know.
The public. I also note that the equipment itself has evolved and generally becomes smaller and more discreet as technology has improved. So if you remember Josh Frankel from the documentary, when Scarsdale had this active contract with Flock before they canceled it, they denied a request for the planned locations of Flock cameras. This lawsuit has now been taken up by the NYCLU when the village has refused to give that information because it sets a precedent that the public should have input in a democracy as to where the cameras go. We should know where they are, etc. It is not a lawsuit between Flock and people or Flock and a town. This is a lawsuit between a citizen and the village over freedom of information law. So the village is arguing that Flock has certain exemptions, their communications with the company being qualified for the interagency exception, which would mean that they act like a government agency. And I remember this quote that people attribute to Mussolini being
I remember
that
Congress creating them
fascism
as an agency.
is the corporation and the state merging, essentially. So if a corporation that is a vendor selling a product to a town qualifies for an interagency exemption, what does that mean for our government? Many interesting things about this lawsuit. You can read the full write-up on Drop Site News and watch my interview with Daniel Lambright or listen to it.
Just don't forget, Doug, this is the judiciary is how they're able to make legislative changes without actually having to go through a whole congressionary group of human beings. You could just have one judge change the law with this thing called precedent. So that's why it's just easier. If we could get expensive, well-worded attorneys into a room where they could persuade the judge that we've already greased their pocket, we could create a legislative enactment without actually it being legislative at all.
Nice.
Last piece that I would just take this in for a second. When people want to downplay the flock cameras, look at the evolution at which they've grown as far as coverage in America.
Remember, kids, the next time that somebody tells you the government wouldn't do that, oh yes they would.
Dude, we're looking at 2025, June, July. Look how fast this shit's moving. And people get up. Hold on, pause. What we are at, let me go to the middle of the video.
Appalachian is the
All
only
right.
thing not covered on the East Coast.
March 8th, 2025. So a little less than a year ago. And when I look at the people in my circle and I go, I'm telling you, within the next 3 to 5 years at the most, I'm highballing this so the bitches around me can feel comfortable and try to get it. But when I try to desperately tell people, this will be within the next year, I say 5, so it makes you feel like you can relate. Okay, that I could see that. This shit's going to happen so fast. Look what happened. Look at this is the coverage last March. How quick this shit changes in a year. And for those of you listening, it went from speckles at the coastlines to, I would say, almost 50% of the country entirely covered. All of Ohio's gone. All of New York, the whole East Coast, totally covered. Not enough of California, if that's my opinion. It's almost like they want to send a blind eye. Half of Texas. It's the West. But let's also acknowledge they don't really need to worry about the dunes of Montana because they don't need to worry about an elk. They're going where the people are at.
Those darn Canadians are getting free entry into our country. Look at that. It's open.
That's been a thing for 100 years. It's almost like they don't want to, Doug. Crazy how that works. With all this chaos, the tech, the data, we've got people losing their houses through eminent domain, data centers being built even when we don't want them. We're going to be clearing all the forests, bringing it all down. I think just for some levity, the way to kind of ground this episode is you need a little EDM. You gotta loosen up with some EDM, some environment dance music.
It's a man who has a lot of time on his hands.
And a lot of trees.
Never enough trees. I feel like he hit it once and was like, ooh, I like that. I need more trees.
I just love Ricky just staring. You got to earn your cowboy hat. Dance for the environment.
What a real cowboy does.
This ain't a real cowboy.
This ain't a real cowboy.
He'd have whistled. He would have had a tin can.
This is a Colorado cowboy. All right, so kind of closing it out here, one of the updates that came from this past week that I couldn't leave the week without at least acknowledging. With this new environmental or technological AI robot age, there's going to be firsts and news every turn we get. But I bet you didn't see this one coming. Here's the first robot monk. Ricky, It's just so funny because it's like, well, what do monks do? They just sit around and pray and philosophize. Like, what's he gonna do?
Nothing. Give a speech.
YMCA. He's making his way downtown. Walking back. I thought you guys would have. Look at those hands. That reminds me of Charlie's uncle's hands from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
No, it looks like Buster from Arrested Development. His giant robotic hand.
Yes. This is how absurd. Like, here's what I'll say: if we're going to the fiery pits of hell and we're going to live through end times, this is the comedy I need to bring some levity and get me through it.
Why would the monks?
I hope the people that's making those are pressing the blue button. Okay. I really hope so.
The robot survives no matter what, and he's
Robot's
like,
logical.
always should pick the red button, dummy. even for a monk, a robot's a robot. Last one I got for us. We'll save some of the others for. I only got one or two others, but last one for today's episode.
Wait,
this is
how does that robot? Wait, sorry. How does that robot hit spiritual alignment by eliminating all of us?
Dude, to be a monk, you have to pray. What is this thing praying to all day? It ain't.
At least it's celibate like them.
Let's agree. Yeah. Let's agree that this monk or this robot, the closest it could get to a monk is LARPing, cosplay.
LARPing robot.
Like, you're not actually a monk. You can't do the thing that makes you a monk, starving yourselves of the humanly experience. You're already starved of it. I know.
He's starved himself down to 1% of battery. before it charges back up.
Yes. Starve yourself to 1% of battery and really understand the human tragedy. All right. Last piece I got for us, bringing some levity to the robot world that's going to be taking us over. Man, if I knew we could laugh our way into the Terminator movie, I wouldn't have been so uptight. We can have some fun. This comes from Zarnarg. Yep. Comedy duo, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
these are some Indians. Well, they're kind of playing out with this robot. Maybe they're Pakistani. They're playing it out with this robot. How the future of a joined household, growing up, parenting, living out structuring a household with your home robot.
Carry the 2 here?
No, Veer, you cannot use Neo to help you with your homework.
Why not?
Because the robot is going to become smarter than you. Already it is all very smart. Like, Neo, you got to be on mom's side and say, be a parent, not a calculator. Be like, go do your homework. Yell at him.
Okay, so for number 2, you're going to do...
What you going to do? Go to his class when it's exam time? Yell at him right now. Do it.
Let's do your homework.
No, like you mean it. Like, go do your homework.
People are great.
I don't want to be mean.
Dude, did you see the robot?
It looked like you wanted to punch him.
Like you mean it. Like, go do your homework.
I don't want to be mean.
No, good. Leo, we do not need you to like suddenly be a nice person. Just be like, go do your homework right now. Be a parent.
That's your job, though.
At least the robot knows.
Why I brought a Neo into my house to tell me what my job is. I need one more troll in my life that I paid all this money for. Thank you, Neo.
No problem.
No problem.
No, I didn't mean that. Do you understand sarcasm?
No. What were you going to say?
It was like that poor robot stuck in the middle of it all.
Yeah. Just trying to do his best.
Yeah.
Well, what you're going to do for number 2? All right. I've thrown a lot at you. We've gone from the ocean to the landscape, all chaos. And I just thought this pillow talk, this late night thought, the fleeting idea that our Q the creator came up with, not only is it pretty philosophical, at first you don't think like, what is he getting at? Pretty poignant, and yet the ending point is exactly how I want to end the dialogue of today's show.
I was about to go to bed, but listen to this shit. All right, let's say that there's a baby that's born at 12 a.m. in New York on New Year's Day of 2027, right? If another baby is born an hour later in Los Angeles, California, that baby would still be born in 2026, technically making it older than the baby born in a completely different year. What the fuck? So that's like a baby being born, that baby's still born in 2026 while the future baby is born in 2027, but the future baby is older, younger, the future baby is younger. Oh! Okay, I got it. Nothing is real. Nothing in this bitch is real. And I hope my explanation didn't fuck it up, but I hope y'all understand what I mean. Nothing in this bitch is real. All right, I'm out.
I felt like baby's first time zone.
Nothing in this bitch is real.
Yeah. Pretty good thought process.
He's right. It's crazy that somebody in New York could be 2 years older, 2 hours on this earth longer, and still be considered younger because of this made up time zone game that humans recreate every day.
Yep.
We make it up. It's all made up. Welcome to the Matrix. And this is just one little zero in the coding of ones and zeros we recreate and make up every day. Y2K. Do we have the time to do the wiki hole? What do we think? Doug, you got it in you?
I guess so.
Ricky, you got a pen and paper?
Don't take that long.
All right, we're going to do this quickly. We're playing down the wiki hole. For those of you that haven't played with us before, the game is simple. I started at a famous person's Wikipedia page. They could be dead, they could be alive. And I use those little click boxes within it, you know, the dialogue. I click 5 pages away to something totally random. And we're going to slowly work our way back to the person as the crew here tries to guess who is the mystery person. So it's really a guessing game of guess the mystery person. However, each round, the crew can either ask a yes or no question or take a guess. They're all playing off of each other's questions and answers so they could try to isolate who the person is. That being said, let's start with slide number 1, going down the wiki hole. First up, market. Market as far as economics, and economics and market is a composition of systems, institutions, procedures, social relationships, or infrastructures whereby parties engage in exchange. A yes or no question or a guess.
It's always funny. You like read the explanation for what like the first slide is. And my first question is always, is it a boy?
It's a man.
we got a man.
It's a man.
Is this person alive?
Is this person alive? No. On the books. Ricky.
On the books, Ricky, that tells you something.
He's in. Oh, I almost said the location.
Don't say it. Hey, Ricky.
I don't know what that tells me. Were they a political figure?
Yes.
Okay. Got a dead politician.
Maybe. Anyway, going to Wikipedia 2. Predatory pricing. Predatory pricing, also known as price slashing, is a commercial pricing strategy which involves reducing the retail prices to a level lower than the competitors to eliminate competition. Yes or no question or a guess?
This isn't my question, but I almost want to be like, does he haggle?
What are you getting at? What are the nose dimensions?
Price.
Is this individual American?
No.
Not an American.
Doug, yes or no question or a guess?
With these questions here, did this person play a part in the 2008 financial crisis?
I would be shy. I can't wait for you to look it up.
I don't need to look it up. By judicial decree, no, but by enough lengths of separation, probably. And not even probably. You could point to a couple things.
Ricky, I kind of want you to ask if this guy owned an island.
Hey,
Did
yes
this guy own an island?
Or a guess?
But we got to remember, not American, so
Yeah. Did this guy own an island?
probably will.
What's your deal, dude?
Did this guy own an island?
He did. He did own an island.
Okay.
We're coming back to you. Yes or no question or a guess?
Did this individual die under suspicious circumstances?
Do I know how they died? Pretty much. But does the world? I guess not.
I just want us to keep asking questions because this is not fun.
Oh, wait, hold on. We're on the next wiki page. We forgot. Will was so on top of it.
Re-ask, Will.
Monopolization. All right, Doug.
All right, Will, you get to re-ask because we weren't ready for you.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Will. Ask another
Doug,
question.
ask a question. Or just admit, no matter how close to the line we get, you still don't have an ability to...
Did this person off themselves?
I'd say... Okay. Yeah.
I'll say... A chameleon at the head of the FBI says yes. I have every piece of information that says yes.
Ricky, what's your question?
Did this guy hide out in South America?
No.
No. Okay.
All right, next slide.
It's almost like you know what's coming. Procuring. We're one degree away. Procuring. Procuring, pimping, or pandering is the facilitation or provision of a prostitute or other ex-worker in the arrangement of that act with a customer. Donald Duck?
Just ask it, Will.
Yes.
I have more questions, Doug.
All right, go for it.
I'm thinking of it though. Because I'm having fun, damn it.
Do they say his?
Are there FBI files named after this individual?
Hold on, I got a reference. Yeah.
All right. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys.
All right. Is this person Jeffrey Epstein?
Is it?
I don't.
Oh, there he is.
I felt this was an appropriate one for today's episode.
You did say he's not American, is it? He's a U.S. citizen, man.
He is.
Not in my mind. He's a citizen of one country. And it's the flag that all the American politicians have in their office, which is an American.
That is why I wanted to ask a few more questions. So I was like, what other one is there?
For some reason, I was thinking McAfee, the software developer.
Dude,
I got him.
Wait, are we really buying the fact that he was born in New York City?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
I guess I have to.
For a moment, I thought it was going to be Ghislaine.
Yeah,
that's where I was like,
But we
okay,
were
maybe
male,
it's
but we
this.
knew male.
And then after like two more questions, I was like, it's got to be him. There's no other way. It's not him.
I had to. I
That's why I
had a
just wanted
hunch I was going to take a loss on this one, but I thought it
Well,
was
see,
fun.
the main
I
reason
thought it
I
was gonna
asked
be-
the financial crisis one is because I was thinking maybe Bernie Madoff. You
Yeah,
know?
that was another
So-
one. I was like, okay. And then I forget what question I asked and you answered. I was like, it's got to be him. There's no other chance.
Is he dead? So they say.
Which is one of those, like, I never want to give a narrative to those answers because it gives too much away. But also, I feel like that is the answer. I'd be cheating you if I didn't give you the full scope. Ricky, what were you going to say?
I don't know. I just thought it was somebody totally different.
Seriously?
Yeah, I thought he was too obvious. So I was thinking someone else.
Fair.
So Will asked if there was a file named after him.
Yeah, that kind of nailed it. And then I pulled the actual Epstein files we have in studio and nailed it. Anyway, Ricky, tell the folks where they
Hey,
can find
season
you.
finale of The Stoner and the Scholar this Thursday. Be there or be square.
Big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Be there, square bag, sweats okay. Big guy. All right, that's enough out of me. We appreciate you guys joining us. We go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, but then we also have some fun on Sundays. Get a little break from the political and social chaos and wake up, have a cup of coffee with us like Sunday morning cartoons and have some laughs with our reactions channel. This past week, we had a really fun episode with Mother's Day theme. Just moms can be funny. But then also we've got a whole catalog. We're well beyond 100 episodes now, and it's starting to rock and roll. So head on over there. But if you're looking for one central place where you can find everything, this show, our live show, the flagship podcast, and everything else, you can find it in one central place, and that's at our website at www.rethinkthinkpodcast.com. We didn't have the time today, but normally we'll go to the wheel of topics so we can get you involved. So a way to submit topics you'd like to see involved in the show, head on over to the Neuro Gym. You could join for free, and that's at our website as well. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, the best you could do to support what we're doing here is share this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, because like I said, we're here each week and you don't want to miss it. But otherwise, guys, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.